So you're probably wondering, you're probably going up to me right now saying, Som, Nick, are you gonna do us a favor of doing a review of this movie? The answer is yes. We're gonna do another. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Anime Summit podcast again with your main homies, Som, the mom, the bomb, the turkey Tom, and with me I got Nick,
the dick, the prick, the
that
sick.
sucks, dude. You should do it like Nick, the sick. I don't know what else rhymes because all the other words that are bad, like prick and dick and stuff. Okay, and we have
Not actually sick right now. I'm just saying.
and we have Mac.
Knock on wood.
No.
Mac couldn't be with us here today because he's busy as fuck. So it's all good.
Yep.
Wait, did Mac just jump in for a second?
Nope, that was
Oh, no,
my
never mind.
computer.
I thought I heard
accident.
something.
I clicked on. Sorry.
I was like, did he just jump
No,
in?
my bad. That was my.
GG.
But anyways,
All right.
yeah, he was busy, and we told him take the week off. We'll take care of it. We got you.
He'll give his thoughts on this topic in the next episode, at least.
Yeah. So
a condensed version of his.
and also, I know things have been kind of out of whack. We'll get back on track. We promise. Please keep supporting. Don't leave. Don't hate us. Don't get mad. And if you do get mad, blame.
Well, what's gonna happen is all these episodes are gonna drop in a short window.
Yeah. So you'll have a shit.
There's gonna be like a 3 groups of episodes.
You can marathon
coming out.
Anime Summit. That's always fun, right? And if you do have to blame somebody, blame Nick. So anyway,
and also Mac and Som and Quokka, mostly Quokka. Right?
actually, I agree with
Yes.
that. I agree with everything you just said just now.
Somehow it's all Quokka's fault.
Later in the episode, we're gonna talk about White Album 2, and when I say White Album 2, I literally mean when you look at the title, there's the number 2 there.
The numeral 2. Yeah.
Not White Album 2 as in the second season of the White Album 1. I mean White Album 2. Okay? Google
or
that
the TOO.
The T-
White Album
2. Yeah, like Dumb and Dumber 2.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Because it's just an alternate version of that story. It's like a visual novel. We'll get into it.
But anyway, the reason why is because it's kind of Christmassy and snow is white. And we're close to the holidays.
No, I think I Googled like best Christmas anime and White Album 2 showed up. I'm like, I've been meaning to watch that. Let's all check it out.
Yeah, like it's totally random. The holidays have kind of shooken all of us up. So, but anyway, I still haven't bought any Christmas presents, and it's already December 14th. So shit.
Oh, GG. I already have yours.
Snee.
You bitch.
I'm gonna get Nick a big old piece of poopy.
If it's the poopy Nendoroid,
Deal.
Or emoji, like the emoji little platform thingy, or what is it? A pop figure?
It's probably a
I'll
pop
take it.
figure.
I've seen him. I think I've seen him at Target.
I bet you there's a pop figure of it. I love those pop figures, by the way. Anyway, Nick, news anchor Nick Boner, with the new.
Thank you, Som. So it was a little bit of a light anime news week, kind of. We had Crunchyroll adds the daily lives of high school boys to their streaming catalog. And if you haven't heard of this, it's sort of similar to, well, it's not it's kind of similar. It's just a very classic, funny comedy anime. People compare it to like Nichijou. It's not.
I've heard it's like a
studio,
really chill show. You can just literally just watch it. And
Yeah,
just laugh.
I need to watch this. This is my friend Scott's like favorite show, and so
Spearmint.
It's like, yeah, and it's just supposed to be like super funny, and like you can just watch all the clips on YouTube of like the funny little gags they do, and definitely check it out. I need to check this out, so them adding it is gonna influence me. I'm gonna watch it soon.
Hell yeah.
Soon, TM.
TM.
So yeah, Crunchyroll is stepping up their shit. Next on the news docket, we have one thing from you, I guess. I can't even read this URL. Pokemon.
Ash gets a new look for the new movie, and before you say anything, because Nick did this too, he was like, "Yeah, they already changed him already." No, they changed him again. Like the art style is even more anime-y now.
He looks okay.
I think he looks great. I think it looks cool, and people are speculating that this is just for the movie and not for the series currently. So that's whatever. But
dude, as long as the Poke Girls are bae, I'm
the
fine.
girl at the end of that trailer that's in that article actually is kind of cute. But anyway, people started taking the screen cap of Ash and like messing with it and like giving him long hair and turning him into a girl and stuff like that, which is like kind of
you do that with like every anime.
But like it would.
Though. Oh yeah,
it was just funny to do it with Ash because it was just like it's Ash. You know what I mean? Like he's this kid that we've known for a long time, and now he looks like this, and like after not changing him that much for a while, you know. But anyway, I thought that was funny. You should Google that. I forgot what the movie's called, but yeah.
Pokemon, the next movie.
Pokemon, the movie, the game.
2018. It's the 2018 Pokemon movie.
I still have to watch the movie where they remade the first episode. Because apparently Pikachu speaks English in it, and everyone blew their shit. They were like, "What the fuck?"
Oh my god!
Yeah,
I want it to be like Gilbert Gottfried or something, or who's the guy who plays Frank on Always Sunny? What's his name? Danny DeVito.
Yeah. Yeah.
The ultimate Pikachu.
The ultimate Pikachu.
Anyway, so yeah, next we got a lot of like PVs on this. We're going to get into, let's just quickly mention Steins Gate 0 PV aired, and I think this is like, they had another one earlier, or maybe it was just like images for that, but they had promotional art before this and all that, and they aired a PV 30 seconds, and it's confirmed for April 2018. It's coming out, so catch up on Steins Gate. We should do a Steins Gate episode like before that drops. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it'll get me to watch it, because I still haven't seen it.
Holy shit! We're definitely doing
that.
So stay
right.
tuned. Sometime this
we'll do it like Kino's Journey. We'll rewatch.
Guarantee, Sam, that you will love Steins Gate.
Legit.
Like this, it might be one of your favorite shows by the end of it. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't want to hype it too much, but it's really good. I like it.
Sure.
Next PV, Violet Evergarden PV 4.
There's actually like talking in this PV.
Yeah, there's talking. It's got that music that was in the first PV. It's beautiful Kyoto animation. It looks like a movie. Great. If you're not hyped for Violet Evergarden, then get fucking hype. It's going to be the best looking anime TV show to date ever. So yeah, that's sick. And then finally, this one's a little bit more meat to it.
This is the most exciting piece of news on.
It's called Alita Battle Angel, and that's the trailer that they aired.
I'll put a link in the YouTube show notes. Okay, so I love the manga. I love it so much. I don't want to get super into my history with Battle Angel, but my brother got me.
Wait, you mean Battle
Angel?
Battle Angel?
But
I thought you were gonna do that when you said it.
Oh yeah, because I do with everything. Yeah. My brother bought me most of the books for Christmas one year, and I didn't read them until like a year later. But they're great. I'm missing like I think 2 of them, like the last 2. But it's cool because it's not one
classic manga.
Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 arcs spread across 6 or 8 books, and it's super sick. There's one part where she's doing the murder ball or roller derby ball or whatever it was, and murder ball. Then there's the beginning of it, which is what the movie is. I think the movie focuses on the first 2 books or first book, and there's
like an OVA.
The OVA is terrible. It's really bad. It's the only anime.
I don't know. It's got a decent mouse score. You know, I've heard it's decent.
I think it's decent.
It's only 2 episodes,
I think people score it high because it's one of the only anime. I think it's the only anime adaptation.
No, it's the only anime adaptation so far. That's like baffling.
It was produced by ADV here in America, and it was on 1 VHS tape, and it covers like the first 2 books or first 3 books, I think, and it's just like they try and squeeze a lot of it into.
Oh, Studio Madhouse did it.
Yeah, no, the animation's great, but they try and squeeze a lot in 2 episodes, and it's like, Is it kind of so? I guess I was spoiled because I read the manga first before I even watched that. So, but anyway, I think other than the fact that they had tried to make Alita look too much like her manga counterpart by like widening her eyes.
Oh my god!
It looks kind of bad, but
it's the uncanny valley. It's so fucking weird
it doesn't look right. But
she's like, "Do you love me?" And I'm like, "No, I'm gonna burn you with fire."
Other than that, the rest of it looks really cool and looks really close to the manga. And Christoph Waltz plays the doctor guy, Dr. Daisuke, and it's like, oh shit.
Yeah, it was written and produced by James Cameron. He's been working on this for years and years, like even before Avatar.
Yeah,
he wanted to get Battle Angel Alita. Like basically, he's part of the reason that he even made big movies is so he can get enough clout to like make Battle Angel Alita.
I wouldn't doubt
That's what I heard. He's obsessed with it. And then it's directed by Robert Rodriguez. So yeah, like it's got a lot of good staff behind it. I think it could be one of the better anime. Probably, look, it's not a high bar. It's probably going to be the best live action anime adaptation.
Right.
But does that mean it's going to be great? I don't know.
So you're probably wondering.
I think it.
You're probably wondering. You're probably
going up to me right now and saying, Sam, Nick, are you going to do us the favor of doing a review of this movie?
The answer is yes. We're going to do another.
Oh, yeah.
And we're probably going to bring another movie critic on, maybe Black Critic Guy or somebody else. Who's, and Manime Matt's really into cinema. And, maybe we'll have those guys on.
Yeah, we'll figure something out.
Yeah, it'll be cool. Anyways, sorry, Nick. Really wanted to.
Yeah, dude. That trailer reminded me of this classic YouTube clip here.
Your contact lenses just arrived.
Contacts. Can't have my brand. I have special eyes.
Look with your special eyes.
My brand.
Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, man. I think that's from, it's like a Mass Effect spoof from, 10 years ago. No, 5 years ago. Anyway, dude, her eyes are fucking goofy. So
They are, I agree.
That's all I gotta say.
As much as I love it, yeah.
But yeah, this is supposed to be one of the best manga ever made. Well, one of them. That's what I've heard. I don't know.
I will be doing a review of the manga.
Might be overselling that.
After I read the rest of it somewhere.
What's it rated on? Let me check on Mal. It is ranked number 122 out of all the manga on Mal. So that's pretty.
Yeah,
good.
I'm gonna do a review. Actually, this episode's probably gonna come out after my review, so maybe I'll just say both, and then Matt can edit which one is true. But I'm gonna do a review of the manga. I did a review of the manga. It's over on Anime Summit YouTubies. That's why you should subscribe to the YouTube, because there's content over there that's not on the RSS feed. So,
dude, YouTube or manga reviews are so hard to display on YouTube. Just think about it. How are you gonna? What are you gonna do? Awkwardly hold open pages and be like, oh,
no, I can.
As you can see on this page.
I'm a videographer. I know how to put images and graphics and
I know.
put cool effects where there's fire coming out of my nostrils and things like that. I can do that stuff.
There you go.
Put dicks coming out of my ears and shit.
Dude, dick butts in your butt.
Genius. Let's quit. Let's quit this and just do that.
Just do that. Yeah.
We're done. Bye.
Let's quit this topic and go to the next.
Go to the next thing.
Segment. Yeah. So, Waifu of the Week.
Excuse me.
Since we are reviewing White Album 2, we chose a character from that, and I chose.
And Nick chose
Kazusa,
Setsuna.
Sam chose poorly, and what do we got? So yeah, I mean,
So the thing is that there's three main characters, a guy and two chicks. Haruki the dude, Setsuna is one of the girls, and Kazusa is the other girl. And Nick chose Kazusa, and I chose Setsuna because
that's what I just said.
if you put Setsuna in a sleigh, you got Bae in a sleigh.
Okay.
Because she's Bae. Never mind. Okay, I fucked that up.
I thought you were going somewhere.
I thought you were gonna keep going, and you didn't. But
yeah, I just got a thing for the cold Kudere girls.
So Nick, do you want to summarize
the pitch black hair?
And then we can give some background on what it is.
Oh
and
boy, my summary is going to be pretty crummy. Basically,
just talk about the chick and the bitch and the whatever.
So this is kind of the typical visual novel style of a story. it feels like the archetypical visual novel. You have like harem elements. You got the one guy, you have multiple girls, you have flip phones, you have snow, and then you have like these music tracks that go on repeat and stuff. And that's like what I think of when I think of a visual novel. So White Album 2 it's about a light music club that's disbanding, and these 3 characters that we named are, they're trying to be friends, they're trying to keep up the music club, and they want to do a performance for their school. And basically they go through that, and what's also going on at the same time is Kazusa she's the piano girl, she's the black-haired girl, and Setsuna is the red-haired girl. So Kazusa is the daughter of a famous pianist, and she is spending all her time trying to get good at piano, try to win competitions.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hurting her grades and all that, and then the other 2 characters are trying to help her out, and that's like basically the idea of the story. Is like these characters are musically inclined, and they're going through a love triangle where both of the girls like the guy, and the guy isn't sure. Like he always, I guess we can get into it later, but yeah, so he has to make a choice at the end.
Yeah.
So
yeah. So like Nick said, it's a visual novel, and it was developed by Aqua Plus, and under their brand Leaf, which is the Aqua Plus's adult company. You know what I mean? Adult, eroge, porno, and
oh yeah, titty flicks.
So you've heard me in the past talk about how visual novel adaptations they always end up being garbage because they try and pick one path, or
Not
they
school
squeeze
days.
a bunch of paths and fuck it up or whatever. The thing about White Album 2 is that there's literally pretty linear paths, and there's not that many of them. There's a few of them, and then there's DLC that you can buy for extra content that creates more if you want more.
You mean loot boxes?
Loot boxes?
Everyone just got triggered.
God. That being said, and I've been on record saying that I hate visual novel adaptations, but this one was pretty okay. And also, like I said earlier too, we're talking about White Album 2, not White Album 1 or Season 2 of 1. White Album 2.
It's White Album 2. It's the alternate version of White Album. Honestly, don't even watch the other
I've
White
heard
Album.
from everybody and other reviewers, don't watch or play the original one.
Yeah, like for reference, White Album 2 has a mouse score of 7.92. It's ranked in the 600s. That's pretty good for something that came out 4 or 5 years ago. White Album original has a mouse score of 6.7, and it's like way down there.
The only thing that it shares with
not that mouse scores are too serious, but
right,
anyway.
and the only thing it shares with White Album 2 is the whole concept of the White Album. This happens 10 years after, so it doesn't really matter. They're not together. It doesn't need to work. Because I even said that to Nick when he told us to watch it. I was like, wait, why are we watching White Album 2 and not White Album 1? And then he was like, it doesn't matter. Just watch White Album 2. And I was like,
well, yeah, they're separate. You don't need to watch the first one.
It doesn't matter. And so, anyway.
Well, it's not even the first one. It's just the other one.
Just don't even go there,
You can call
man.
it White Album A, White Album B,
Just
White
don't
Album
even
X,
go
White Album
there.
Y, whatever.
Okay. But you can play this on PlayStation 3 or PlayStation Vita if you have, and I'm sure that they're going to come out with a Steam version soon like they have with Little Busters and Clannad and whatever. So anyway. Excuse me. Love Triangle, Light Music Club, Haruki Kitahara, the male protagonist, Setsuna and Kazusa, who's Nick's waifu choice, which is horribly wrong. 13
Okay, first of all, you can't go horribly wrong. They're both pretty good. They're not as good as Psychono girls, but they're pretty good.
So who handled this? Okay, Studio Satellite. Studio Satellite
Yeah,
handled the anime adaptation.
They've also done such anime as Fairy Tail, Log Horizon Season 1, and Macross Frontier.
They did Symphogear also. And
yeah, they've done a bunch of stuff. They're relatively.
they did Macross Delta
prolific.
too, so there you go. Anyway, they've done all the Sinful Gears, okay. But anyway, it was originally created by Fumiyaki Maruto, and he's done Classroom Crisis, Senai Heroine, No Soda Tekara, and I think that's it. He hasn't really done other things. That's it. But excuse me, it was written by him, and it was directed by Masami Ando, and he's directed a bunch of stuff.
Well, no, the main ones are Scum's Wish and School Live, or Kuzuno Honkai and Gakugarashi. Those are the ones that everyone's heard of.
Right, that's what's up. Anyway,
those are the ones that are good.
yeah, those
Or at least-
nobody cares.
Yeah.
I'm Nick. But anyway, Aqua Plus and Leaf, whatever.
I keep thinking you're gonna say Aquanips.
Aquanips and Aquanips and
Damn it, Aquanips! Where's my coffee?
Aquanips and Beef. So I guess it was only 13 episodes. It ran from October 6th to December 29th in 2013. And
Oh, you're really stalling for time, son.
it was a pretty
it doesn't
easy
matter
watch.
the exact date it came out.
I'm not stalling for time. I'm just I'm waiting for you to chime in with what you're gonna say because I'm still talking.
You're filibustering.
I don't know what to fucking say other than how much I enjoyed it or whatever. You know what I mean? Like you're just sitting there doing nothing. You thumb up your
Okay,
ass.
so what would you say are the main? Hey, don't knock it till you tried it. What would you say are the main themes or ideas of White Album 2? Like, what's it trying to get across?
Okay. So I'm trying not to. Are we gonna spoil or no?
Yeah, I mean, we can spoil it. It's been like 5 years. Jesus.
Okay. Because I guess
4
it's
years.
right at the fucking beginning. Okay. The anime, when you start it, it shows you what happens. The whole point of the anime is to show you how they got to that point. So even though they're in high school, well, they're in their third year. They're about to graduate. It's like the last the anime takes place during the last semester of their last year.
Yeah, and it takes place in 2007. That's why they have flip phones.
Yeah, flip phone.
That's the year of the visual novel. Like, you just have to take place exactly in 2007. Otherwise, it's not a true visual novel.
Yeah, they had a razor. Remember the razor?
That's my theme. Or my thesis.
Nokias and shit. But there's a lot of adult themes. Okay, there's a lot of. I think the one thing that I heard
Young adult themes, not
huh?
not like adult, young adult themes.
Yeah, young adult themes, not like
Yeah,
penis in the butt.
they're high
yeah.
schoolers. They're
Yeah.
they're not like trying to take care of a child or anything. It's just like
Yeah, no.
yeah. It's a romance.
But I think one thing that I read on somebody's blog after I watched it was that they kind of shined a spotlight on the pressures of what high schoolers go through or young adults go through as they're trying to figure out what they're trying to do. And this is one of those anime that shines a spotlight on it's not about the goal, it's about how you got there kind of thing, even if that ended not the way you wanted it to end. And I think one big theme of it was admitting that something was not okay and that you're not okay with how it ended up. And that it's okay to admit that. It's okay to be upset at how this thing turned out. You know what I mean? So by the end of it, Haruki, the guy, he chooses one girl over the other. And the other one is like, she's like trying to justify it. Like, she's like, well, you know, she always did this and did that, whatever. And she's like remembering all the times that she shared with him. And she goes, none of that's fucking true. You know what I mean? And it was kind of a sweet but really sad moment because it was like, you know what? She's not okay. And I'm glad that she's saying she's not okay. Because in a lot of anime, especially ones like this, there's always the girl who gets left behind and is just like okay with it. You know what I mean? And it's like, dude, I'd be pissed. Like, you know, you know what I mean? Like Rem, like that whole bullshit, where she's like,
from ReZero, yeah.
Oh, I love you.
I love Amelia.
Yeah, I don't love
Actually,
you, Amelia.
That was like a really good episode of ReZero, though. You got to admit, when he's having the conversation with Rem, like on the outside.
I agree. Yeah.
There was like 3 great episodes of that show, and then the rest of it was like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
No, but like 3 of those episodes were awesome. I'm just like, oh my god, okay.
But when
Little bit
I
of a
forgot whose
tangent.
blog I read that on when he was writing his review on it. But that's what
We'll just say it was Bob Doe.
that's what I took away from it.
It was it wrong every time?
No, it was just some random like
Okay.
Tumblr. I should find it.
because he writes for A&N. So never mind.
Nice.
Nick Creamer.
But that's also what
I totally. He's probably written something about it, but I don't know.
But that's also what I took away from it anyway. So I mean,
yeah.
I-
well, like it's showing.
go ahead. Go
Oh,
ahead. No,
sorry,
go
go
ahead.
ahead.
I was done pretty much.
It's showing like. Oh, thanks. Yeah. Hey, hierarchy's the whore, not me. All right.
That's true.
Anyway, we have so it's showing kind of the pain that you have to deal with when when you like somebody, but then it's unrequited love, sort of. It's kind of a little complicated in this because he likes both of the girls, but he loves one of them, and what happens is one of the girls confesses to him first. She admits that, and she says, I confessed to you first because I didn't want to miss my chance, and I always kind of knew that you guys liked each other.
Yeah.
And she has to deal with that pain, of not being, not being the one. And but still, she wants to be friends with both of them, and they're trying to battle with. She's trying to. They're trying to come to terms with that with that situation because he likes the one girl and she likes him, but they both can't admit it because he's in the relationship with the other girl, and it's just kind of this, not like a misunderstanding dynamic, but kind of this unstated thing.
Yeah.
And what am I trying to say here?
I think you're just trying to talk about the trials and tribulations of matters of the heart. It's not impossible to be in love or like more than one person. And this explores that too, I think, which is really important because a lot of people say you can't. And that is fucking wildly untrue. It's super untrue. You can definitely like or love more than one person. Definitely.
Yeah, and the thing about that, though, is
Excuse
that there's still, struggle there, They don't just get over it,
Right. Oh, yeah, yeah. Yep, that's what I was saying earlier.
The one girl who was not scorned, but, the girl who loses doesn't, she, says that she forgives them or whatever, and she says she knew it all along, but you could tell she's still, in pain or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
So... And then at the same time, the girl who wins was in pain the whole time because she wasn't in that relationship and she wanted to move away and all that. She couldn't stand seeing it,
Right.
'Cause she knew that they were, going to be a couple, but she couldn't. So, I think that the main themes here are just, it's hard to describe. I should have written it down. It's just about being honest with your feelings for other people, and
Which is which you should do regardless, And I think
but at the same time, you're gonna end up hurting someone whether you like it or not, especially if there's, any kind of love triangle going on, which doesn't happen a lot in real life.
And it's
but
not even
it can
just
happen.
triangles either. You know what I mean? I think that was just
It could just be a friend that's
yeah.
Makes that situation awkward.
Yeah.
And you just got to be empathetic towards the people around you, and you can still be friends with them. But,
right.
You're always going to cause some amount of pain. That's
Or
kind
you're
of
gonna cause
the
yourself
basic
pain.
idea.
You're gonna get hurt.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, they all kind of had to deal with it a little bit.
Right.
Yep. But I mean, honestly, the show wasn't. It was weird because the first half of the show, especially, was not that sad or anything. I wasn't getting that vibe.
I wasn't really getting
Were you
anything. I only just kept watching it because I wanted to see what happened.
It started a little slow, honestly. It started kind of generically. The first half is a lot of them is just them hanging out. them in their music club, trying to set up for the festival and everything.
Then there's little hints dropped that are just like, oh,
yeah,
the way he looks at
and the
them
one
and
girl
stuff.
confesses, and they start going out, and then that's when the plot really kicks off, right? So the show does start a bit slow, I would say, but at the same time, it's like it's not bad. It's just not like, honestly, I know you fucking hate School Days, Sam, but School Days had a better first few episodes than White Album 2.
White Album 2 is what School Days should have been, except it wasn't because
No. White Album 2. White Album 2 is like
School Days is just.
And I know there's tons of other visual novels we can compare. I'm not like a big aficionado. I haven't seen all of them, but my main point of reference is School Days. So like if I have to compare, like White Album 2 is like the more empathetic version of School Days. Like School Days is just people succumbing to their id. It's like that they're just going for lust, right? And then White Album 2 is like they're thinking about how the other people are feeling. But I still preferred School Days just because it was more raw and like visceral.
Yeah, because it's a big troll.
White Album 2 felt really fluffy, in a good way. It was good, but like it had like that really stereotypical visual novel sheen to the whole show. Like the character designs looked, like a video game. It didn't have a lot of animation either. I noticed. I guess neither did School Days either. But like for White Album 2, the close-ups looked nice of the characters whenever they like zoomed in on the character's face. But then you could see like background characters, the piano judges or other kids in their class, and they had like those block faces and like they're kind of blobby. So like the animation wasn't the strong point of this. Other than a few like moments of close-up.
Yeah, it was all right.
Yeah, it was okay. It's not like really worth complaining about, but like, look, if you're gonna compare it to another musical show like Your Lie in April, that had awesome animation because A1 Pictures went all out on that. I don't know. I think this is like a really, really good visual novel like experience. If you want to just see what a visual novel is like, then watch White Album 2. And obviously, my favorite, watch School Days, but that's a different topic.
School Days is a failed visual novel adaptation.
School Days is awesome, dude.
No, it's terrible.
It's a glorious train
It's right
wreck.
down there with the rest of the visual novel adaptations that are bad. Like,
No, it's so far down that it's in China, and then that makes it up. That makes it to the top. Yep.
that makes
doesn't
no
make sense,
sense.
but
You're dumb.
Just roll with me. Here.
Shut up.
It's
Shut
like you
up,
shot
man.
a portal gun. You shot a portal gun at the ceiling and the floor.
And then you just
and
jumped it
you
in
drop-
and kept
you
going
drop-
through
Yeah,
it.
you drop School Days through the floor, but then it comes through the ceiling, so it's on top. Boom.
So
there
it
you
keeps
go.
going wub, wub,
then it
wub,
goes through the
wub,
floor
wub,
again.
wub, wub, wub.
Yeah, that's it.
I like White Album 2. I think it's a
Yeah,
pretty good.
I enjoyed the second half especially.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty good visual novel adaptation. Now, let's get to the butt of the problem, okay? And a lot of reviewers that I watched and things I read about it agrees with me. Or I agree with them, rather, I should say, because I watched it after they did. But the problem with White Album 2 is that it's only 13 episodes, okay? White Album 2 is actually... There's actually 2.5 arcs. There's the introductory chapter. Then there's...
Oh, okay. I didn't even know this.
Then there's the closing chapter. Then there's Coda. And Coda is not even necessary to play. That's kind of up to you to decide whether you want that content to be canon or not. Or the extra DLC parts that you can buy with closing chapter or introductory chapter. The anime only covers introductory chapter. Closing chapter actually covers their time in university. So my problem is that, and I don't know how well this anime did when it happened, okay? But from what I hear, it did pretty well, or did pretty okay. And I think they should have did another 13 episodes for a closing chapter. Because this may end, like for me, not the way you wanted to. Which, if you or me, you can relate to the character I'm talking about. And
Yeah, so I guess we didn't even spoil. We said we were, but
Yeah.
we don't really need to. That's the thing.
Yeah, because they technically spoil it at the beginning. But either way, that's kind of up to you, I guess. But I mean, if you have a Japanese PSN account, I'm sure you could, buy it and play it or whatever. But I really think it would be cool because the way it ends, for a lot of people, they'd probably be like, "What the fuck? Well, I feel like there's something else that's supposed to happen, blah blah blah." And for me, I thought the ending was fine. I thought it was pretty definitive. It was okay. But excuse me.
It had the old airport running into their arms ending of every romance ever.
Right. But when I read
Classic.
that there was more, and when I read that it wasn't actually the whole, because I thought, introductory and closing was all covered in the 13 episodes. No, introductory is what we watched, and closing chapter is like when they're in college, and then coda is like after that. And there's actually 3 more girls that you can pick from, or that he may end up with. So, I forgot their fucking names already, but anyway, I think that might be a lot of problem for some people. It wasn't that big of a deal for me, but some of the reviewers I had saw were just like, yeah, I would rate this higher, except that it doesn't cover any of closing
it
chapter.
doesn't finish all the source material. Yeah, I thought it was good for what it was, though. I mean, it's
Me too, because
Finish
I
that
don't play
little
visual
arc,
novels,
right?
you know what I mean? So it's like, it's not a big deal.
I think I would probably like visual novels. I should check some out.
I
but
think you would too.
yeah,
I think you would.
a word we haven't used yet is bittersweet. That's what I was looking for. That's what the description.
I think that's.
So-
I think if you had to describe the anime in one word, that's the perfect word.
Yeah, bittersweet. I mean, because definition of bittersweet. it's just like
Bitter than it's sweet.
that. There's like a good and a bad.
There's a
good
poop and a
bad.
pee.
Yeah, yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down.
There's having sex and not having sex.
All right. Anyway, so yeah, what type of score would you give White Album?
You know
if
what?
had to
I give it a solid. I think I give it a solid 7 out of 10. I guess my expectations were low for it, so I ended up really enjoying it for what it was. I thought it was an easy watch too. The beginning was a little slow, but like when the feelings started happening between the characters, that's when you were kind of like, okay, well, I want to see what she says. It's like, and I kind of had to keep clicking next. I was like, oh, shit, like I got into it.
yeah,
But I would give it a straight up Nutter Butter.
everything's Nutter Butter. I'm gonna give every show ever a Teddy Graham.
I would give it a
do
high Teddy Graham, low Nutter Butter.
What is a bitter and yet sweet Nabisco food item? There, I don't think there are any that would not taste good if you did that.
Yeah.
I'm just like scrolling down the TV tropes page right now.
Chicken biscuit.
Yeah, I mean, I basically agree. I would give it like maybe a half a point lower, just because I don't want to score it the same as School Days, because I like School Days more, and I gave that one a 7. That's higher than the Mal score.
I probably
School Days is like
I probably
a 6.
would give it maybe a little lower too, because the animation was okay, but you could tell this
Yeah,
animation
I
does
feel
date
like-
itself. It was in that era of 2012,
Well, it's not even
2013.
dated. It's not. Well, yeah, that's true. But also, they just didn't do a lot of movement. The directing was okay, but I would say the directing was fine. It was nothing special. But yeah, you're right. The animation was nothing to write home about.
Yeah.
And that actually adds a lot to this type of story. If you could have like really good animation, that would give it like a full point higher. Like Violet Evergarden level. Because if Violet Evergarden has a story the level of this, but is Violet fucking Evergarden, then I'm gonna give it like an 8 or a 9. But here it's like it's held back slightly because look, aesthetic is narrative, to quote my favorite Digibro that you guys hate.
I mean, I agree with that statement. Yeah.
No, well, yeah. Like it makes a lot of sense. I don't know if he made that up or not, but we'll just attribute it to him. It's fine. If something looks bad, then you can't give it the highest score, the highest praise, or whatever. And this doesn't look bad; it looks okay. So I'm going to give it like in the middle. And the story was good. It was the characters themselves were actually pretty good. The three main characters had a pretty good dynamic. They were all kind of codependent on each other because I guess we didn't mention this earlier. The two girls had trouble making friends. Kazusa, the piano girl, was like, she was always aloof and alone because like her parents traveled and her mom was always away, and and then the other girl, Setsuna, just had trouble like making friends, and she just wanted to be friends with them, and the guy was nice to both of them. So boom, friendship. There you go.
Right.
That's the other thing they had going on.
Right.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I basically agree with Sam. I give it a similar, but slightly lower score to maintain my elitism. So.
And I told Mac too. Excuse me, I'm still getting over.
I think Mac will probably give it a higher score than we gave it.
I think Mac
maybe.
would like it. I think he would enjoy it, given for what it was and where it came from. So
Actually, no. Mac is going to be like, well, it's the best score ever, but the airport wasn't anatomically correct. So 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10.
Man. Oh man, I should have like memorized this TV tropes page. This is gold. One thing that I'll mention before we go on to the next is that the reason this worked is because the two girls were foils of each other. They're kind of like mirror images, not mirror images, but like reverse. There's the cold girl and there's the Genki
and there's
girl.
the slut.
The hot, cold and hot and cold. Which is like, that's pretty classic. That's used in every form of media, really. It's a very typical character dynamic. But, if it works, it works. Shoot,
Right.
Now that I think about it, I think that's used in like every single romance ever. Sorry, my throat was clogging up. I'm just so sad.
It's flu
No, I'm
season here
kidding.
in Minnesota, and it's cold and flu season, so fuck off.
No. No, I just got a sinus thing going on. But yeah, just good. It's a good show. It's pretty good.
I would recommend to I guess, I don't know. Who would you recommend it to? Cuz
Mac?
no, okay, yeah. But I mean like
Oh, okay.
like the kind of anime viewer you would
well, I already
recommend.
said earlier, people who want to watch, people who want to get the gist of what a visual novel is.
Okay, good point.
Because I think this is like a really good example of visual novel style. People who like romance, that's a good one. People who like music, it's decent for a music anime. I put a lot of other music anime above this because this doesn't really delve too deeply into, what it takes to be a musician, what goes into all that. This is more of a romance than anything else.
Yeah.
And also, obviously, Christmas themes slightly. There's snow, right? There you go.
There was snow involved. Yes, that's what I saw too.
Oh, another one I could recommend, another show alternatively is Amagami SS. That's a good one because I actually did want to put that as the thing we watched for Christmas, but it was too long. It was like 25 episodes and it's 2 seasons.
Yeah, and I've been kind of
25
getting on
episodes.
Nick's like dick about that. Like, dude, stop
Oh,
making
yeah,
us
yeah.
watch stuff.
I've already seen it. That one is actually an even better Christmas anime because it takes place, at least I think the first arc takes place during Christmas. And it's like, it has like a ton of different girls and it's omnibus style. So the guy, each episode, or I think it's like 2 episodes. It's like each mini arc, basically. It's a couple episodes with each girl. And it just kind of does like, oh, what would happen in this scenario? What would happen in that scenario? And it just kind of loops. But that's a really good one too. So if you like Amagami SS, then check out White Album 2. White Album 2 is a little more. I mean, Amagami SS is like super fluffy. It's not particularly sad, but it's it's another thing in this vein.
Legit.
Faux show.
Legit.
Yeah. So we're just like at a loss right now. Yeah, White Album 2. We both liked it pretty good. Mac will give his thoughts on the next episode that comes out. We'll have a little truncated version of Mac's opinions there. And we got contact info. Let's start to wrap it up. After that, we will briefly mention some slightly non-anime topics. But so yeah,
Yeah, so
we decided to move those to the end because it's
sure.
not
So
directly relevant.
So, follow us on Twitter at Anime Summit, and then go on RSS. If you have Anime Addicts app or whatever podcast app you use, sub on there because it helps a lot. And leave us an iTunes review because it also helps a lot. YouTube.com/Anime Summit, YouTube.com/Anime Summit Extra. Go there, be square, do the dare because that's fair. And in the YouTube links, and I don't know if it's in the iTunes description, but it should be. There's a Discord link to join our Discord. You can hang out and talk with us and talk about anime and talk about seasonal anime and all that fun stuff. So you should go do that. That'd be great. So wait, do I have to have a theme for outro news?
Outro. That sounds so bad.
Well, yeah. Anyway,
what we really should do is just get a soundboard and use like little mini sound clips,
Yeah, yeah, I totally agree.
I mean, dude, if we could build our own audio, like make just mini little tunes.
I can do that. I
between
write
each
music.
segment. Yeah, because like we were just gonna get fucking flagged on YouTube and shit.
Dude, I'll
fucking
totally
Nazis.
do that. I'll bust
God,
out the
I hate
guitar
that
right
shit.
now.
Isn't it okay? Answer me this: isn't it fair use to have? I don't
I
know.
have to look it up again.
It should be, in my opinion, fair use to play a very short clip of music audio, especially if we're not like the Super Bowl or something. Like, I guess at the Super Bowl they can't just be playing the Beatles or whatever.
Yeah, I gotta look it up again. I have no idea.
I hate that. I hate that fucking law.
I
It's
know,
stupid.
and either way,
I think it should just be, dude. If you play like 5 or 10 seconds at most, I think that should be fair game.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm salty.
But anyway, go ahead, Nick. You're the one. You got it.
Oh, so, well, depending when this episode comes out, God, I don't fucking know when. You'll probably have already heard of it, but yeah, the net neutrality vote did not pass. So,
No, it did
I
pass.
had that in the wrong order.
It did pass, which means it was passed to.
No, they voted against
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah, the repeal passed, so they
Yep.
overturned net neutrality.
well, so temporarily, and that's okay.
From
God,
what
I
I'm
wish I-
reading, though, is so the FCC is
There we go. Overturned.
Yeah.
There we go. Because well, net neutrality became a thing during the Obama administration. I don't remember exactly what year. I think it was like
2015.
2012 or something. 2015. Yep. So it was briefly a thing. So what it does is it means that ISPs can't censor content. They can't charge different rates for different websites, et cetera, et cetera.
or how
And they
speed or
repealed
slow your
that.
internet is.
Yeah, essentially it could lead to fast and slow lanes on the internet, and you're paying more to be in the fast lane, and everyone else is in the slow lane.
Or paying
and
to use,
presumably,
or paying to use Facebook, or paying to use Twitter, or paying to use YouTube. Yeah.
yeah, that's what could happen. And they're like saying, "Oh, we're never gonna do that." Of course, they're gonna fucking do that.
Right.
So net neutrality was overturned temporarily, and now it goes to, I believe, the Senate. It goes to the courts, and so there's going to be more like conversation and
In
there's gonna be
Congress,
lawsuits.
the Congressional Review Act is still a thing, so
yeah, there's going to be lawsuits. You can still write to, and you should still write to your Congress people if you're in the U.S.
Yeah.
If you're not, I mean, post online.
the reason
do
it's
whatever
the
you
reason
can,
it's
but,
an issue, and the reason why the rule was put in place in the first place is the era we grew up in, from 2012 to 2015, we saw the internet blow up and become this everyday thing that people were using for jobs, for communicating, for.
Well, no, that started in like the turn of the century.
No, sure, but it wasn't as looked at until then.
Yeah.
So Obama put this rule in place to make sure that it was treated kind of like a utility and not so much as a...
Well, it wasn't Obama. It was the Democrats.
Okay, whatever.
The U.S.
Whatever.
Democrats. Because, like, what happened is, like, let's be fucking honest here. The Republicans all voted on party lines to fuck everybody. They don't care about the country. They don't care about anything. I'm gonna get political here. I don't give a fuck. So
2 hours later.
Is even mad about it. So I mean, look it up. Just look it up and get mad about it because it could affect you listening to me and Nick talk right now, and that will be shitty because we're just trying to have fun. So do it.
GG.
Follow the Twitter. Tweet at me at Phantasmagistera. Tweet at Nick at Blind Freeman, and don't do anything after 2 a.m. because nothing fun happens after 2 a.m.
Are you How I Met Your Mother now? Like, what is this?
and take her easy. And if she's easy, take her twice. Or him. Take him easy. And if he's
Let's
easy,
be honest,
take him 3 times.
every guy is easy.
I haven't had sex in 4 years.
That's what Som says right after having sex. every single time.
Matt's gonna edit this episode and be like, "What the fuck are you guys even talking about?"
It was like, what the fuck is this shit at the end?
Oh my
damn
god.
it.
Oh my god.
If he probably won't get to this part. Mac, you're the best person you know. You're the best ever, but you're not gonna hear it because you're gonna delete
Rock
it.
and
before this.
roll.
I was only half. Not kidding. Wait, what? I don't know.